guys, it's Serjuku here, and guess what? We are doing something slightly different today. Let's talk about the top 20 human characters I would like to see in the Puppet Master, the video game. This is being brought up because October Drake was talking to me, like 3 months ago, probably back in back in actual October, I think. We were playing Puppet Master, and we heard that he was actually making a Puppet Master video game that was official from Full Moon Entertainment, and he was asking us what kind of human characters we would like to see, because he gets people talk to him about all the puppets, but not the human characters. So what I did is I sat down, watched 7 different Puppet Master movies, and yeah, I know there's a lot more. But I wanted to stick to the originals. Here comes the rules. Stick to the original characters for 1, and for 2, it has to be human characters that would be after the Toulon's secret, basically. So characters like Toulon himself is not going to be on this list. So anybody who was an actual Puppet Master is not going to be on the list, except for maybe 1 or 2 exceptions. Let's get started. Number 20. If you guys remember Puppet Master 4, there's this... No, it wasn't. It's Puppet Master 5. My bad. There's basically this company that's after the Toulon's secret, and there's this scientist who's has a group of thugs with him, and I found his character to be okay. I mean, also another thing on this list I should mention is that any character that's really interesting I am going to throw into this list, just because you would imagine something like Puppet Master with characters to be kind of boring. This character's okay. What I like about him is that you don't know what to think of him, then he winds up being the villain in Puppet Master 5, which usually happens to a lot of people who are after the secret of Toulon. You know, maybe. I guess it'd be fine. I can't think of any items he would start with. Probably just one of those characters who would probably start with nothing. But anyways, moving on. Cameron from Puppet Master 4. He may be a jerk, but he's an interesting jerk character. And I definitely would like to play as this character. Probably a lot more than the scientist, though, because he was a little bit more flatter than this dude. This dude actually had an actual character. He was kind of interesting, and I like some of the one-liner remarks. So he's probably another character. I think I'll probably pick him as a playable character than some of the more flatter characters that are in the Puppet Master movies. Eric Stein, I think his name is. There might be a few other Puppet Master 3 characters on this list, who knows. Why would I want to choose him? Well, because we do need some Nazis. There's certainly way better ideas as we go up the list. There's other Nazi characters that I have that are a lot better than Stein here. But he's an option, just an idea. October Drake, make it possible. Speaking of Nazi characters, we're going with General Mueller. This character, oh my god, he's fucking hilarious. In Puppet Master 3, you first meet him when he's at a whorehouse. He may be an old geezer, but he's definitely a player. And not only that, but he shoots 6-shooter in the arm before he gets shot himself, and he falls out of the frickin' window. So he has a pretty dramatic death. And definitely, yeah, he would be after Toulon's secret because, Nazis. So yeah, this is definitely a character I wouldn't mind playing as in the Puppet Master video game. Number 16. Okay, so we're finally at Puppet Master 1 here. For Dana, meh. Her character's meh. She's kind of a weirdo. Honestly, if we need weapons to start with, it should definitely be the needle that she sticks in Gallagher. She could probably use it to unlock doors and stuff, or maybe, use it to stab the puppets when they get too close. Her death was iconic, like most of the Puppet Master 1 victims. We can't really forget about some of them. Some of them are so brutal, just like this one. Pinhead breaks her leg, Blade cuts her throat open. That iconic thing should make this character part of the October Games Puppet Master, the video game. Now, you guys are probably just going to be pissed off since we're not even at the number one, and we're already talking about Gallagher. Because his death was iconic. People can't forget Puppet Master 1, but my opinion on Puppet Master 1 was kind of like, eh, Puppet Master 3 was way better. It was such a weird movie. And yes, I would say Gallagher's death was very brutal and very iconic. Why would I choose him to be after the Puppet Master secret and the Puppet Master video game? He was always after the secret, apparently, according to the very first movie. So you could probably give him a little more strength and also give him a lot of HP because apparently he brought himself back to life using Puppet Master fluid. The Puppet Master movie's a weird Alex Whitaker. From the very first Puppet Master. I actually don't mind Alex that much. He's kind of a stock character, but at least he's not like those old 1950 hero characters with their all muscular, look all perfect and everything. You can tell that Alex looks gotta be either in his like late 20s or 30s. So he's not like a super young character. I don't know what kind of abilities you can give him since he dreams the future. He's one of those psychic characters. Come to think about it, Dana can see the future using fortune telling, which I have no idea how that fucking would work in a video game. The same thing with Alex here. He's a psychic king of dreaming the future. I don't know how that would work in a video game, so I don't know. But I'm pretty darn sure a lot of Puppet Master fans would love to play as Alex. Going from Alex to Dr. Hess from Puppet Master 3. I would actually love to play as Dr. Hess, probably a lot more than Alex. Mostly because I actually found his character to be interesting, and yes, he was after the Puppet Master secret as a Nazi scientist. You could probably give him a bunch of science chemical things for him to start out with, make him more intelligent of all the human characters to play as, and so forth. I don't know what you could do with intelligence in a horror game, but I'm pretty not sure you could figure it out. I would definitely like to play as Dr. Hess. Sheriff Grady. Why is this character A so high on the list, and B, why is he even on the list in the first place? We need some sheriff characters. We need some characters with guns, basically, and this is probably the best idea. He's an asshole, but he's actually a pretty cool asshole. He's kind of like Cameron with some of the one-liners, sort of. What I like about him better than Cameron is that he's a sheriff for one, so he's gonna have guns for this game. Honestly, the October Drake, I would play Sheriff Grady. I don't know the name of this character. The reason why I have him so high on the list and why he's even on the list, other than the fact that he's one of the investigators after the formula. We could probably do like a Slenderman or a Slendertubbies moment here. You can run around with a camera because he's the cameraman. Be able to use like night vision or whatever on his digital camera or whatever. Puppet Master 2 is from like the 80s, so it's using one of those crappy cameras. But if you give him like a digital camera like nowadays technology, it would actually be an interesting gameplay. I'm pretty darn sure Lorenzo would like to do it too, since he likes to run around with the camera and is Slender Tubbies. This character's gotta be in. Dr. Leslie Piper. At first, I wasn't going to originally have her on the list. Out of all the characters from Puppet Master, one of the things I noticed when I was watching the original Puppet Masters, everybody was a complete asshole. Everywhere you turn around, there's a complete jerk. However, Dr. Leslie Piper, one of the very few characters that are kind of likable, and it kind of sucks that she just gets killed and brutalized by the freaking totem monsters. And honestly, for that reason, I think I would like to play as Leslie Piper. Rest in peace there, Leslie Piper. I mean, she didn't deserve to die. Out of all the psychic characters, this one's probably one of my more favorites. In Puppet Master 2, she's actually a little more nicer than most Puppet Master characters, human characters. So I think I would like to play as this character. I don't know what. I guess you can see. I don't know. Talk to the dead. I don't know. Her death is sort of bizarre, kind of awesome, and it almost felt like it was going to lead into a sequel where she was going to be like the main villain, and that would have been awesome. I think Burn Raccoon City showed me a comic book, but she was the sort of part of a plot to it, what happened to her after, but I really don't know. What I like about this one is it's another okay character. She's kind of nice. She doesn't give up on investigating. She's kind of an independent. Definitely would be kind of awesome to play in a video game. She's a main character. She's one of the nicer ones. Jason from Puppet Master 5. I kind of like this character because when he was called in by that scientist, I think he was on the list on number 20, even though he's a hired thug and all, he was actually kind of goofy and funny to watch. Very short time as it was before he was killed by the dark feral creature that Zootek summoned. Either way, I actually found him kind of interesting after rewatching the Puppet Master movies, so yeah, he should be in the game. Okay, now a lot of you guys are probably cheering, yay, so high in the list, and this character? Give her a freaking 12 gauge shot. You know what? When I was rewatching the Puppet Master 2, at first I thought she had a double barrel, but guess what? She has a 12 gauge. A 12 gauge shotgun holds 8 shells. 8 shells. If you give us a freaking 12 gauge shotgun that only has 1 shell, I am gonna fucking. Anyway, enough of that freaking rage moment. Yeah, I would actually like to have this character and have her start out with the 12 gauge and go around and start blowing up freaking dang gun puppets. And yeah, have like pick up ammo and stuff in the game. That would be kind of cool, especially with this character. She would definitely be one of the funnest characters to play. And actually, even though she didn't get really many lines in Puppet Master 2, she was kind of actually slightly interesting. Why would she be after the Puppet Master secret? Well, when you think about it, after her husband got killed, I think she'd be trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. If she survived, of course, Torch, after being roasted. Alright, so you guys have been wondering, how come you want to play as a kid in Puppet Master with Peter Hutz from Puppet Master 3? Not a lot of horror games where you get to play as a child. This would be very different and actually kind of cool to play as a child. He is completely obsessed with Andre Toulon, so it would make sense that he would be after the Puppet Master secret even as a child. Have this character for his gameplay, acrobatics like dexterity, not that much strength. It has a lot of stamina and energy. Average HP at most. I wouldn't give these characters much defense unless you have armor laying around. Not sure how much sense that would make in a horror game, but yeah, those are some ideas just to keep in mind. Teresa from Puppet Master. Playing as the maid in Puppet Master would be fucking hilarious. Have her start out with since she died from a fire poke. Have her as that as a weapon. As she starts out with is a fire poking stick thing, one of those things that you poke the logs around with. That would be a perfect weapon for her to start out with. And since she's a maid, she should have like the keys to whatever map you're playing as. Because if you think about it, she goes around and clean everything, so she needs to have like access to like literally everything, or just make it so it's easier for her to find the keys, or she has like a map or something. She's a maid and all she's supposed to be able to take care of the place. How can she without keys or a map or anything like that? I mean, come on. So it makes her an interesting character to play as in Puppet Master if you think about it, because there's so much you can kind of do with a maid character, especially if you're going around in the buildings like the Bodega Bay Inn. Honestly, this is the best Nazi character. Meet your Klaus from Puppet Master 3. Have him start out with like the German pistol. I don't know much about guns in real life. October Drake, you should really look up some research on the German pistol to see how much bullets it holds in a clip and what's its accuracy. That would actually be pretty useful to help with game mechanics. Now, you don't have to make everything realistic in a video game, but yes, I would imagine that the Nazi pistol would be a decent, accurate weapon with a decent amount of ammo before having to reload. And just like I said before, I really wish you can make it so you can go around pick up ammo for different weapons and also find other weapons as well to add to your inventory. Kind of like Resident Evil Outbreak, like an inventory to equip certain weapons and items, combine things. You make it like that, but just don't have the tank controls. You should make it not a third person, but a first person kind of game. Don't try to make it like a shooter game, although you kind of have to an extent with weapons. I know a lot of people want to see third person, but honestly, I do not want to see third person. And every video game I've ever played so far is so fucking wonky. Make sure the video game is well tested. Have people test it out. If you want, I will test the game to help you out and give you some suggestions and some feedback. I feel like we need a hero character to play as And honestly, this would be the perfect idea from Puppet Master 2. His name is Michael, I believe. Make him start out with no weapons, just a flashlight. Have him go around and pick up items. Make all his stats well even, well balanced. And actually, that would make him a perfect character to play as. Let's talk about characters that didn't make the list, but was on my list, but didn't quite make the cut. Megan Gallagher from Puppet Master 1 and Patrick from Puppet Master 2. Honestly, there wasn't really much to those characters. I mean, yeah, Patrick was interesting. He had some good one-liners. But honestly, that was about it. Gallagher, the only thing that was good about her was that she kind of like the love interest of, the main character Alex to an extent. There's not really much to these characters, so they didn't make the cut. And now we're finally on number 1. The Servants of Zutek. Now, how cool would it be to go around and shoot magic at freaking dang gone puppets, shooting those microwave beams? Yeah, I know I'm calling them microwave beams, even though I'm not sure if that's what they're supposed to be, but looking at the special effect from Puppet Master 7, it kind of looks like the same special effect that was used in Heroes, where, yeah, I think it was season 3. All I know is that there's this part in Heroes where Sailor, the main villain, meets this kid who can microwave things by aiming his hand at him. He melts a toy, and then he literally melts his father because he kind of teams up with Sailor to an extent. And that's what it kind of reminds me of. It's like the same special effect with this really wavy beam coming out of the hand of the actor. Going around microwaving puppets that try to attack you is fucking awesome. You can give them lots of HP because they're like undead agents, which makes it kind of interesting. You can have them pick up weapons and use them, but I think people would enjoy using magic. Yeah, this would be a really great character, and I would want to play as these guys, even if it's just one of them. I beg you to have it play as these characters. And no, I don't want it like a freaking unlockable cheat code. Make it a playable character, even if it's a character you have to unlock. But no, do not make it like it's something that you put in like a cheat code. A playable fucking character, because I would love to play these guys. Number one without a doubt, these characters. Anyways, that would be all. Please like and subscribe, and please give me your guys' comments. October Drake, please say something about this video. And if you don't mind, Burn Raccoon City, would you please edit this thing? Make it perfect, make it awesome, make it godlike. This is Zerduku signing out.